So I just listened to the Xbox podcast. Pretty enlightening, some deep information. So there was a lot of rumors going around, a lot of stuff on YouTube and internet alike, talking about like this was going to be the last console. Xbox is, no longer going to have exclusives and all the like. And I had to kind of catch up on this because I had just heard about this. And I always personally would find it pretty cool when like you turn on a PlayStation game and there's a Xbox or Microsoft Studios logo pop up. And Sony just released one too. I think it was MLB. And like on the actual game, it has the PlayStation logo. So it's just like that. To me, that it's just cool stuff. A small thing, a business thing, right? Business decisions, but it's kind of cool to see. So after watching the podcast, what I'm understanding is that it's just simply, they have to have some exclusives in order to keep the console valuable, right? Sony and PlayStation alike. And they're just going to have, he said 4, but I imagine it's going to be more. 4 games is going to be on other platforms like PlayStation and PC and Nintendo, right? Hopefully Nintendo will come out swinging with their next console. So that's all I'm understanding and getting. It's not the whole thing, but it's just a few games, right? No big deal. I heard Gears of War is coming or has come. My guess is that the Indiana Jones game is not going to stay on Xbox. Maybe, but I doubt it. Forza, I think definitely will. Halo will definitely will. Hellblade, that's what I was thinking about before I started my mental list. Hellblade, I don't think is. I think Hellblade is going to be on everything. Except for the Nintendo. I definitely think that it's coming to all of them, but maybe not, because that's pretty strong, and I know I'm anticipating it. I'm definitely going to play it on an Xbox Live. On PC, by the way. I do not have an Xbox Series. I'm just like, my PC I'll just use that. The games look and running cool. So, here's my take on the whole thing, looking at the future, is, to be dead honest with you, if Xbox was to just say, hey, we're just going to offer a service where you can play anywhere on anything, I don't think there would be no harm in that. Business wise, I don't think it would hurt the brand. You know why? Because every time they make a console, right, even though don't get me wrong, the technology behind this stuff, how they make it and everything. I just watched the PS5 teardown today. I like that stuff. I understand it. It's cool to have your own console, and it's very awesome. But business wise, it is not necessary. If I want to play Halo, then I'm going to play Halo on anything that is on. Now, it is associated with Xbox. I understand that. There was a couple games that came out on Xbox 360, namely Ridge Racer and what was it, Dead or Alive. Even though Dead or Alive, the impact didn't have that big of an impact on me, but Ridge Racer sure did. And I was just like, man, what is this game doing on Xbox? So I understand, I get it, right? But is it that big of a deal? Not really. I think, as far as myself, what's happening with me is I'm looking at more of the companies that I grew up with. What are they making? For example, Namco with Tekken. I expect a certain quality to come from Namco when it come down to Tekken now. Especially after 8, because 8 is really good, better than what I thought. I'm expecting Namco to make that. So it's like, it don't matter what is on no more. It matters what is this company making, and what am I, and is the game that they're making, is the quality up to par? Is the quality where it need to be? Capcom, I want to play Street Fighter 6. It doesn't really matter what Street Fighter 6 is at. Is the game good? Can I play it? Right? And I kind of say that because at the end of the day, yeah, it's nice to turn on a Pacific console with a Pacific game. But isn't it the controls, right? Isn't it the controller? It's what we're controlling it on, right? If I play Smash Brothers, I want to play with a GameCube controller. Playing, and I know I'm going back and forth, all over with different game genres, but just follow me. Playing Zone of Vendors felt odd playing it on PC with an Xbox controller. I'm like, this feels nasty. I should be playing this thing with a PlayStation controller. But I played it so long with the Xbox controller, it felt nasty playing it with the PlayStation controller. Right? Imagine if Nintendo went through a live service deal and we can play Mario anywhere, right? Is it really hurting the brand? If we could play Halo anywhere, if we could play Killer Instinct anywhere, right? There are certain games and franchises that I think do need to be everywhere, like Killer Instinct, so that everybody can play them. Especially if a person just has an option just to buy one console over the other. So I don't know. That's just how I kind of feel with that. I think it's more on like how it feels, right? We played Final Fantasy primarily on PlayStation. It felt weird to play that game on Xbox and even on PC, right? We're used to having it on PlayStation, but it doesn't matter anymore. As long as Square Enix is producing good quality anywhere, people are going to play it just because it's Final Fantasy. It can come out on just, say a new TV came out and you can only play the new Final Fantasy 17 on that TV, on a Sony TV. Guess what people are going to do? They're going to buy a Sony TV just to play Final Fantasy. And with any controller, most likely a PlayStation 1, but I'm just putting it out there. So I think it's more on, we're just used to these games being associated with this, and that is what it is, right? But don't get me wrong, like I said, I understand, I feel it too, when a game that's primarily on this console gets put on another one. But Xbox as a whole, with all the companies that they have announced today, they said they got hundreds of games in development. It's just cool, because that's when I'm more about myself. It's like, I don't really care about, I hope it's cool, even though, Phil Spencer doesn't know me personally, but it's cool to see somebody in there that quote unquote, and I say this because I don't know the man. I'm not taking away from any of his credibility. He's been doing it for, I think he said 20 years now. He's pretty freaking awesome, right? So it's cool to see that, and we want to support that, right? People who actually care about games, and that's very, very important, by the way. Let me back up and say that is very important to have somebody in a company who actually care about the game. Because when you don't, all you get is somebody who's going to put loot boxes in there and make a Mario game make a Mario Kart game for mobile that is in pieces, and I can't even play the game because it comes in pieces. I gotta buy this and buy that. And that's not a shot at Nintendo either, but that game was a flop. So big ups to Phil. The gaming industry has felt better ever since he's been with Xbox. Okay. So yes, some games are associated with that brand, and we want to support that brand. But at the end of the day, I think it's more about just supporting the company that makes that particular game that you want to play. I'm in off on that. Let me stop my rambling. I'm in off on that. I think it's more important to have the game you want, have the company be supported, because they're making the game that you actually want to play. I don't even know how to end this video. It got deeper than what I thought, because it is on the game feel. But I'm going to leave it at that. It was a good explanation today with the Xbox podcast. I don't think the console is going in anywhere. I think we'll see one more good, strong console from Sony as well. And we'll go from there. See what's next. The PlayStation Pro is coming for sure. We got the new Nintendo. So I can see Xbox coming out and swinging one more time. Judging by what Phil said, But what if not? What if they just go straight up live service? What if? Get in there!